Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Kokomo Bobkast. My name is Drew Larison from the Kokomo Post, and today, if you're watching it in this moment, you know it's kind of a different episode because we've been trying out some live things here at the Kokomo Post recently, and we did the Mayor Tyler Moore show yesterday live, and we're doing the Bobcast live this week, so I'm pretty excited about it. With me today is Coach Cliff. Coach, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing well. And then with the newest Bobcat on the team, Mr. Corey Boyd. How are you?
I'm really good.
Really
you
good?
Speak up, man. Look at you. I know you soft-spoken.
He's happy.
But you got to speak up.
He's looking good.
I'm really good.
Love it. Good to hear that. So welcome to the Bobcast. I told you before we started, you're on kind of like a historic episode of the Bobcast because we've never done this live before. So it's kind of a big deal. I'm going to be watching online. So if you're watching this, leave a comment below if you have any questions for the Bobcats, anything like that. I'll make sure my computer's muted so we got no mic issues. But yeah, if you have any questions about the team, any questions about last week's games, this week's games, anything like that, leave in a comment below, and I'll try to be watching both of these at the same time. So, fellas, I'll be honest, not a great weekend. Not a great weekend of Bobcats basketball. We had games on Saturday evening and then a game on Sunday afternoon. But we went 0-2 this weekend. We did pretty much exactly what we shouldn't have done.
Well, you know, I was trying to tell the guys, get the guys ready for this past weekend, how big that weekend was. Number 4, Indiana All-Americans was chasing us, and we were chasing the Leprechauns, and we got bit in the heels and conked on top of the head, you know. Yeah. So we ended up dropping down to 4th now. So now we're chasing everybody now, trying to get into the playoff picture. So yeah, we had our destiny in our own hands. We still have our destiny in our hands, but we need a little bit of help from other teams now. Yeah.
And so, Corey, tell me what it was like your first weekend as a Bobcat. Obviously, probably didn't go the way you wanted it to, but, I mean, what's it feel like to be a Bobcat? How's the team going?
Game-wise, it was a real welcome for us as far as the first home game. Crowd was crazy. Atmosphere was crazy.
Yeah, welcome to Kokomo.
Yeah, so that was real good. I mean, the first game, you know, of course, never want to take that first loss on a new team, but I felt real welcome and really enjoyed playing, having that Bobcat jersey on.
Good. Nice. Well, we're happy you're here. You had a really great game on Saturday night. You really came off as the new guy off the bench and had some big moments against their big guy. You did well. So welcome to the team. We're happy you're here. So let's get into Saturday night. As you said, Coach, it was against the Indiana All-Americans, and that was at home. And we lost that one 101-93. And the thing about this Indiana All-Americans team, and they've done this consistently all season, is they can shoot. They can score quick. They're really solid from three-point range. And the one thing you really can't do with this team is get behind because it's hard to come back, which we ended up coming back. But at one point we were down, was it by 25, maybe even more than 25? Yes. But it's a really hard thing to come back against the Indiana All-Americans because they shoot so well. And they've got a lot of players on their team that are just solid from shooting 3 or even, a 2 range. But there was the one thing you can't do, and that's the one thing we did early.
Well, they had 5 or 6 guys in double figures. So when you have that many guys who's scoring double figures, it's kind of hard to beat anybody like that. That's why it's hard to beat us when we get all our guys going. You don't know who to key on. And it was just unfortunate that we started the game off scoring 8 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
8-20, I think it's 8-23. So when you dig a hole that deep, and you got guys on the other team that can really shoot the ball, it's almost inevitable that you're going to fall a little bit short because you're going to have to expend a lot of energy trying to catch up with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is like I said, they've been consistent like this all year too. They're just a really good shooting team. So Corey, tell me what it was like. You're probably got all the momentum of the world. You're excited to have the jersey on, and like Coach said, we put down 8 points in the first quarter. Did that knock you down a little bit?
No, because last week when I was watching them,
you got to speak up, man.
He's good.
He's a big man with soft-spoken, and he wants to have a little touch about everything. Man, give me some bass in your voice. Bring it up a notch. Come on now.
I just pick on you all the time.
A little bit. Every day is something new, so I just expect it now.
I'll tell you this, from what I've learned, he does that to the people he likes. So take it as a compliment and move forward.
But I just knew that this team had a lot of fight. Like last week watching, I knew they was down the 3 games, but each game they came back, and even like the point deficit, they never give up throughout the whole game. Like probably can start off 40-0, and they'll still have the same fight throughout the whole game and still have faith that, we can come back and win this game if we play the way we're supposed to, no matter how big of a hole that they dug. So I knew just being down that we was going to come back. Like,
Gotcha.
Even though we didn't get the win, I knew nobody's going to give up or have their heads down like, oh, this game is over with. And they kept believing in themselves the whole game. And even with me being on the team, like, I knew we had confidence to come back and possibly take that game over.
Yeah, and we did get within 1 point. I think we never had the lead in the game, I don't think.
Never, not once.
Yeah, we never had the lead, and we did get within 1 point. But like I said, they went on a run. And basketball in general is a game of runs, and unfortunately they just had larger ones than we did on Saturday night. Leading scorer for the Bobcats was Hawk with 30 points. He went 9 for 21 with 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Ace had a great game with 22 points, 8 for 25 boards, and 3 assists. And Michael Tillman went 12 points, 4 for 10. I think all of his points were threes, and 5 rebounds, 1 assist. And Corey had 6 points, 3 for 5, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And honestly, really good defensive game as well. And I know defense doesn't show up on a stat sheet like this, but we were talking like they're big. He's a big dude. And that's something we haven't had all season, like a real big dude,
No.
But I think we defended him well and we frustrated him as we should have at times. So yeah, that loss took us to 8-9 and took them to 9-9. So we swapped with them in that game, which leads us to Sunday afternoon's game, which was, like you said, both of these games were really important, but especially since we lost that one on Saturday. Sunday's game was extremely important, and we traveled to Lebanon for that game against the Lebanon Leprechauns, even though there's a debate in Indiana if it's Lebanon or Lebanon. It's got to be Lebanon when you're saying this because that makes it rhyme, and it's kind of more fun to say the Lebanon Leprechauns. But if you say Lebanon Leprechauns, it's not as fun. Anyway, so we lost that game 107-101, disappointed all the moms in Kokomo on Mother's Day by not getting that win. Probably the most important thing there. But Coach, tell us what happened on Sunday afternoon.
Well, we didn't guard. It was only 2 guys that beat us, and it was 2 guys that really got downhill, going to the basket, attacking the basket, and shooting the ball. I mean, Josh Thompson shot the lights out. He shot even better than the Indian All-American shot. I mean, he was every time we make a run or we get ready to start a run, he'll kill it with a 3 or he'll kill it with a big basket.
Momentum killers too.
And not only did he shot the ball well, but he also went to the line. He was I think he was 9 for 11 from the line. So he got to the line as well. So when you got a guy who's shooting the ball and getting to the line, likewise with Boyce, he was shooting the ball more or less mid-range and getting the ball to the basket. But we relied on our jump shot too much once again, and we have to learn how to mix the two, have a mixture of getting to the basket and shooting the ball. When we do that, we play very well.
Yeah, and speaking of those 2 players, so Ronnie is an extremely talented kid over in Lebanon. He dropped 40 on us last time, if I remember. In this game, he had 33 points, went 13 of 24, 12 boards, and 7 assists. So he got the double-double. And then Josh Thompson right behind him with 32 points, 9 of 21, 6 boards, and 6 assists. This is the first time I think I remember seeing an opponent 2 in 30 points. So they were on fire. And I mean,
well, when you ain't got nobody else shooting the ball, I guess you're going to have those 2 30
you got
points.
The green light is easy.
No one, literally, no one else. We had.
Between both of them, they shot the ball 45 times.
So,
between both
and then
the
only other person who came in and played well was Trey Mitchell, one of our former players.
Yeah.
Which he practiced with us. He knows our stuff, but he had a chip on his shoulder, and he was looking to shoot the ball. When he got in the game, he was looking to score, and he had a big game for him. But
he had 10 points and went 4 for 7.
Yeah, and then the next person was 6 or 8 points, but no one else shot the ball at all. So if it wasn't for Ronnie and Josh shooting that many times, I don't think they could have played as well as they did because
Sure.
they held us off at the end because we were making a run for them, and they just held it off. Like I said, Josh hit some big shots, or Ronnie hit. I think he had 6 points right back to back to back.
Gotcha.
So those are momentum killers a lot of times, and we just have to make sure we don't start off slow.
That's what I was going to say. That seems like a pattern is beginning as we get off to a slow start, and this has been random games throughout the season. We come out flat.
Yes.
How do we solve that? How do we be? I don't know if it's a motivation thing. I don't know if it's a nerves thing of starting a game. How do you solve that problem? Because you never want to be, especially where we're at in the season, you never want to be a team that's constantly having to fight back. You'd rather be in control.
Where's you out? And I think it's going to have to be a combination of different things. We have to change some personnel in the starting lineup, change our routines of how we get ready for the game. Just a lot of little things, little tinkering things we need to tinker with to adjust to make those differences so we don't start off so slow.
Gotcha. Okay, so the stats in that game, Hawk was the leading scorer once again. He had 22 points, went 8 for 16 with 3 boards and 3 assists. Our guy Larry Plummer went 19 points, 5 of 14, 5 boards, 4 assists. And Fudge had 15 points, went 7 of 14 with 10 boards. So he pulled out the double-double. Ace was there with 12. Duck had 9 points that game. So, so that dropped us to 8-10. So where we stand as of right now in our standings, the Owensboro Thoroughbreds are still number 1 in our division at 15-4. They're having an excellent season. Lebanon had an excellent weekend. Now they are 11-7. And then Indiana All-Americans are now in that 3rd place spot at 10-9, and we're in 4th, tied actually with the Kentucky Enforcers at 8-10. So that's where we're at. We kind of swapped positions. We were in that 3rd place spot, and I mean, like we've said, everything that couldn't happen or wasn't, we just really didn't want to happen. That's what happened this weekend, going 0-2. So coming up,
the best part about it is we have All-Americans twice.
Mm-hmm. Last home game this Saturday.
Yeah, and then we have.
I got the dates right this week.
We also have.
I made sure of that.
Owensboro twice, and then we have Kentucky, who's right on our heels.
Sure.
And then we have one upper. We play one of the upper Midwestern teams, and Lansing Pharaohs.
Yes.
As well,
yeah. So Saturday night we've got Indiana All-Americans. Folks, this is the last home game. Of the season.
If you haven't been out to a Bobcat game, this is the time to come out and support us because we need all the fans and all the support we need going down this stretch.
Yeah.
Because this stretch is so crucial that we get off. Because our last 5 games are on the road, and we have to
Same way we started the
get
season.
some momentum going on to the road.
Yeah, so we started the season with first five, actually more than 5 home games.
7.
First 7 games this season were home games, and we're finishing the season with 5 games. So, Corey, tell me, so we're playing Indiana All-Americans again this Saturday, and that was your first game as a Bobcat. So tell me, how much does that loss hurt, and what are your emotions going into that to try to get the revenge in that game?
That loss really hurt just because we just knew how important it was. Like, important games you always want to pull off, especially, like, anything can happen, like, at any point. It's like you never know the odds, and now it's like once you lose those kind of games that you can handle, you kind of hoping on other teams' success for another team's downfall. But, you want to make sure that you focus on your success. That way anything happens outside of it, some things that you can't control, so you want to control what you can control. So that kind of hurt. And this coming up is just like they gave me my first loss for the team, so I don't want to take 2 to them. So I for sure got to get this one.
Yeah, and this game, as we just talked, we're talking about the standings. This game's extremely important. Not only just overall record, but to be able to get really the double-edged sword of that win is nice. To get bump up 1 as well as get them to possibly go down 1. So then on Sunday afternoon we're playing the Lansing Pharaohs. Have we played them this year?
No, we have not played them.
So first time playing them, which can be dangerous.
We played Flint.
Yes, United was the first game of the year,
United,
right?
And then the Lansing Pharaohs. Those are the 2 games we'll play out of
Indiana.
Yeah, out of Indiana.
Gotcha. So what do we know about the Lansing Pharaohs? Actually, while you're talking, I'll look
Lansing Pharaohs are in 2nd or 3rd place in the upper Midwest.
Okay, I'll look that up right now.
That's something that we may have to end up seeing them in the playoffs. If we try to make the playoffs, we get to the playoffs, because we don't know if it's going to be a cross. If we're going to play the upper play each other and the lower play each other, or it's going to be a cross, upper 2 and 3. And lower 2 and 3, so we don't know how they're going to do that.
Yeah, they're in third place in their division, and they're at a 12-5 record. So the Upper Midwest is
strong,
great division. The first is Jamestown Jackals. They're 13-4. Toledo Gas City, which we did play them, they're 12-5. So I guess they're tied for second right now with Toledo.
3 on that side. We have 3.
Yeah, and then Flint is in fourth, which we played them. We played Dayton last year.
We played Dayton
Detroit last year.
This year.
Okay. Oh, that was the preseason game. Gotcha. That I almost got kicked out of. Yeah, I remember that. Interesting. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Late game on Saturday, and then hopefully a relaxing Sunday morning and driving up on Sunday for the afternoon game.
The game is going to be
so no going out on Saturday night.
It's going to be in Anderson this year. This time. They moved their games to Anderson.
Got it.
So which is a little bit closer than Newcastle.
Yeah.
So it's going to be at the Christian.
Wait a minute. Indiana, Saturday's game is a home game.
Well,
so you're
Saturday,
talking Saturday's a home game.
Home.
Yeah,
I'm ahead of myself.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I'm thinking of next week.
Yeah, so Saturday game's a home game, so then we'll drive up to Michigan for Lansing against the Pharaohs. Yeah, so like I said, as of right now, we are in that great state. Certain parts of the state are great, mainly around the Ann Arbor area. But yeah, so the standings right now, we're in that fourth place spot with an 8-10, 2 games behind Indiana All-American. So that getting one on them this weekend would be great.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come down to the last game of who would have the tiebreaker if it's a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I'm going to look up. Do you know who the All-Americans are playing this weekend?
They only have one game this weekend.
We're the only one. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so those are the games this weekend. Saturday night, the last home game in Kokomo. So make sure you come out, support this guy, be loud, buy some merchandise.
Be proud.
Because
just be
you
in
might
the
not
building.
Last before the playoffs, because we're for sure making the playoffs.
I like
I don't
that.
want to say the last home game, like, this is the last of our season.
I like that attitude. Yeah.
All right. Boy, you listened today. I'm telling you, he made me proud. Just now, he made me proud. He listened to me today.
Hey, so I did mention we're live right now, so we actually do have some comments coming in, some questions.
Oh, my God.
One comment is from Jessica White. She says, this is a great group of guys. Go Bobcats. I don't know if I'm included in that. Maybe I am.
Of course you are.
Okay, thank you.
You know what, though? I'm telling you something. You're like that extra spark plug that gets us going.
I love that. Maybe I need to be in the locker room before the game yelling at everybody, getting them pumped
now
up.
You're going too far, Drew.
Okay, well, I overstepped.
Okay,
I overstepped.
Okay,
all right.
Okay.
It's either that or I'm going to suggest like smelling salts or something like that to really get people pumped up. We had a comment. Did you have to switch up your plays for the game against the Leprechauns, considering Trey Mitchell had been practicing with our team this season, and he's a former Bobcat?
No, it's every play. See, all of our plays have 5 options on our plays. So it's a read and react. So I don't try to change up plays or disguise plays. If you know our plays, you know our plays. If you watch us and scout us on TV or film, you're going to know the other team's plays. It's just how well they run.
Especially this deep into the season.
Yeah, this deep in the season, you don't want to change nothing up.
And then we've talked about that too. Knowing the plays is different than stopping the play.
That's so true.
Right? Because the other guy who was a Bobcat and now he played for another team. We talked about that for that game too.
Are we talking about Beans?
Mr. Run His Mouth.
It's about Beans.
It wasn't Beans. It was the other guy who played for us.
I know you're talking about played with.
He's so relevant. We're just having a hard time.
Owensboro.
Yes, he's on Owensboro now. Yeah. Same. That's when we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Like he had been on the team. He knows all the plays.
He knew the plays. I mean, well, he played with us, but he didn't know the plays. So that was one thing.
But knowing and stopping are two different things.
That's 2 different things. And one thing about it.
It was Vaughn. Yes, they commented.
Vaughn. But one thing I always tell guys is.
Do you know Vaughn? You're laughing.
No. It's just when he said Vaughn.
That's what everyone say it. Vaughn.
Got it.
But one thing I've always been taught is you don't worry about what the other team is doing. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, it doesn't matter what they're trying to do. You know the plays. They're guessing on what you're doing.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So, Corey, let's learn a little bit about you. So I was asking around on Saturday. He likes this part. I was asking around I talked to Sam a little bit at the game on Saturday night trying to learn about you and everything like that. Because you did, to me, you came out of the middle of nowhere. A lot of times people will be maybe at some games, you know, or something like that, but came out of the middle of nowhere to me. So who is Corey Boyd? Tell us about yourself.
Me, I'm a relaxed kid from St. Louis. I'm pretty much to myself. I'm always smiling. Like I feel like I bring, you know what I'm saying, like a good energy around. Like I feel like
we like that here. We have a mantra that we make positivity louder here at the Kokomo Post. Yeah,
I need one of those hoodies too.
We're running out. I gave them away too many of them to everybody else. I love how you know. Did they tell you to ask for one when you came here today?
No, I just seen a couple people have it.
It's like one of our make positivity louder hoodies.
Yeah. I need one.
I gotta order some more. Yeah.
He was. We got him from
Enid,
Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much about me. It's not too much, quiet, just chill guy. There's nothing really too special.
Gotcha. So tell us, what's it like, you know, being in Kokomo so far? I like to ask this question. Obviously, you had a home game experience already, but like the town of Kokomo, what's it like being in Kokomo so far?
The town, I feel like everybody.
The city, town, what should I call it? It's a town.
Town.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like everybody like enjoys us being here. Like whenever we go somewhere, you have to talk. You have to, you know, communicate with people around because they always want to talk to us. They always want to ask questions. So I feel like you have to be, you know, a good spirit to be in this town because they're going to give love, so you got to give love back and just show that your appreciation that you were really happy to be here. So I really like it because I'm trying to work on better communicating in those situations. So this really helped me like for future opportunities and just, you know what I'm saying, prepare myself for things later down the road. So I really enjoy this, like being able to take all this in.
So Mayberry RFD.
RFD?
Yeah, Mayberry RFD.
I love that. So we've talked a little bit about Ace on the team. Some people call him Grandpa. Some people, he's the oldest player on the team. I think from what I've heard, you're the youngest.
Oh no, Duck is.
Duck's the youngest?
Duck's still the youngest.
Okay, never mind.
Second to youngest.
So how old are you?
I'm 23.
You're 20. How old's Duck?
He'll be 23. I think he said.
Man, he is a baby.
June, I think
he is a duckling. We should change his name to Duckling. He's still a duckling.
Still learning how to fly.
So I guess you're one of the younger ones on the team. So what's it like being on a team with some older guys, some more veterans that have played, you know, professional ball for a while? What have you learned so far?
What I learned so far is that
I guess also this guy, like being around him too. But
me, like when I look at my age and older people's age, I feel like I got so much more to grow, and it's just seeing them like at certain ages, like he can still play this game at this level. It's just like the same as the NBA. Like you see, like LeBron or anybody just doing certain things. It's like you got so much more basketball left. So just really enjoy these moments, and it's like you'll just keep going and keep progressing. It's just basketball. Just it's not a temporary of a time. So I feel like that's just what I take in, like, at 30 I can still be playing at this level. And it's like you wouldn't even be able to tell that I'm 30 because, you know what I'm saying, it's just like.
What do they say? There's a joke about the NFL doesn't stand for National Football League. It stands for not for long.
Yeah, right.
Or something like that. Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting. But that's cool. That's cool you're able to see that because honestly what I heard, you have patience. And like you understand the importance of just patience of life and, you know, not wanting everything instantly. And if you don't get it, you're out. You know, you're here for the ride and you have the attitude of like never stop learning, which is important. I mean, that whether you're a professional athlete or just anybody in their career, that's an important aspect to have. So, hey, well, we're glad you're here. Welcome to the Bobkats, even though you're getting here at the tail end of the season. You've missed out on some fun with some videos we've done with you guys and stuff like that, which there's probably one you're not too mad about missing out on, but that's fine. It involved a very large snake, but you'll have to watch that on the Kokomo Post if you want to.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite snakes, so I'm glad I missed out on that.
I looked at that as we were helping them get over fears.
Yeah.
That's, it was more we were doing people a favor, I think is what that was,
Facilitating.
Yeah, we're like, hey, we're going to give you this opportunity to get over a fear. And I think Larry's still mad at us about it, but that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so thank you for watching this episode of the Kokomo Bobkast. Like I said, we've got 2 games this weekend. The last home game is on Saturday night, so make sure to come out to support on Saturday night against those Indiana All-Americans, which, folks, They're a new team to the league, but they are going to be a rival of ours, not just this season, but for seasons and seasons on. So make sure to come out and root for us on Saturday night, as well as we're in Lansing, Michigan, great state, on Sunday afternoon against the Lansing Pharaohs. Watch online. I mean, you are more than welcome to make the road trip up to Lansing. But, you can watch online at the tbl.tv, I think is what it's called. But the Bobcats do a really good job of updating on scores on social media as well. So you can be watching that to stay along. So we've been saying this for a month now. Every game matters. In a huge way. And we got to win. We got to keep winning. And we got to cross our fingers that some people keep losing to get to that coveted third place spot so we can make it to the playoffs. So this guy is right that it's not Saturday night won't be our last home game of the year. We want to make sure
regular season.
Well, yeah, I guess we can clarify that. But anyway, so thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms. Go check out the Bobcats on Facebook, on Instagram. I think you guys are on TikTok now, which is cool. But thanks for watching this. We'll see you next time.